On this episode of DC On Screen, we are talking and getting super spoilery about Season 2 of Black Lightning, with an emphasis on the season finale, the Book of the Apocalypse, Chapter 2, The Omega, right after this.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day, and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You think of Earth as a singular planet. In fact, it is anything but. For this is a story not of a universe,
but a multiverse.
Where universes and planets, such as Earth, were replicated and mirrored across a vibrating, infinite plane. Some barely different from the next.
Others drastically so.
This is DC On Screen. Every week, Dave and Jason talk about the multiverse of DC properties on film and television. But be warned, if it's been officially released, you can expect they'll spoil it.
Welcome into DC On Screen episode 537. As stated, we are talking about Black Lightning Season 2 primarily, with a little bit of an emphasis on the season finale. I'm not saying that title again.
Nope. Done here.
Every episode of this show, the title is ridiculous.
Yeah. We should have said, like, DC On Screen episode 537, colon, 624, colon, 1824,000, colon, 1.4.
Yeah. I think our title is just going to be Black Lightning Season 2 Review, because I don't think there are that many characters in the title. They don't allow me that many. And by the way,
No.
CW app doesn't either. Like,
It doesn't.
the CW.
No, it's so frustrating.
I can never see what the actual title of any episode of Black Lightning is.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. There's a lot to like about this show right now, but the titles, that's a shit show. It's awful.
Yeah.
That has got to change.
I wish it would. So
The book chapter stuff, oh my God. Please stop.
I think one of the things about this show right now that a lot of people, and even I myself, feel like is a negative, but then also, like, when you turn it around and you look at it, it turns out to be a positive, weirdly, because like it's one of those shows that, like, they do tackle race relations quite a lot, and you start getting, like, there are certain characters you'll be like, I don't like the way they reacted to that, or, well, that person's a racist, or, well, that person, and then you look at it from, like, the character's point of view and go, you know what, that's damn good TV. Have you had that with this show? You're like, well, that guy's clearly well, wait, maybe he isn't. Well, damn it. Now no one's justified and everyone's justified. Son of a bitch.
I'm not sure.
The show makes me think about stuff, and I don't ever feel like that's a negative. Like, overall, on high level thoughts, I don't look at it and go, well, they shouldn't make me think. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it could give me negative reactions.
That at any point, you need to stop and take a breath. And,
Well, I mean, with
maybe drink some more water.
whatever your viewpoint is with whomever on the show, I think the show is doing it on purpose.
Yeah, probably.
As far as that is concerned, initially I kind of went, well, I understand, and to be clear, to be completely clear, and we're a couple of white dudes, we're not going to get this completely, but I was kind of, like, weird about how Jefferson had kind of a negative reaction just because they're bringing in a white dude to replace him, but that totally makes sense. Like, there's nothing that's confusing about that. Like, that makes total sense. It makes total sense.
Completely tracks.
And
like, especially in that high school where, like, he's created this culture where people identify with him.
Absolutely.
Because they kind of feel like he came up in a similar way, and then you replace him with somebody that's just, I'm not sure he's the same person I identified with before.
Right. And, I appreciate the fact that the show that they have written so far, and I've seen a lot of people that I follow, a lot of people I respect, who took Lowry's admission of his past, Principal Lowry. They took his admission of his past as a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I did not take it as a lie. I know a lot lot of white people. I mean, we're in Alabama.
We predominantly know.
Well, I'm gonna say when I was growing up in Montgomery, I mostly knew black people. Like I grew up in a black neighborhood, so I'm not gonna say I predominantly know white people exactly. But I've known a lot of white people who had that stance. Like, well, I'm not privileged. I didn't grow up with all this privilege. But the thing that they miss is they still get the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what
a real
Lowry.
thing.
That's what Lowry is missing. Like he's angry and he's frustrated because people think that he's a racist, or people think that he's rich, or all these things just because he's white. By the way, and I don't know, I'm sure you've experienced this too. That is an actual downfall of being a white person. Is other white people just think that you're a racist like them? Have you had that where you come in and they're like, oh man, that black guy over there, like don't bring me into your shit. Don't.
Oh, for sure. I work in a very blue collar industry. It's like at least 4 or 5 times a week somebody says something and I think, oh god damn it.
Like, don't be saying that shit to me.
What the fuck are you talking about? Don't nod at me. Don't look over at me and nod. Don't even. God damn it. Like, do you know how many times I've wanted to start a Twitter account that just says like something along the lines of like, we're not there yet, and just quote the shit I hear at work?
Yep. It's like sometimes you'll be at work or somewhere, you'll be hanging out somewhere, and it's like the black person leaves, and then it's like all the white people start pulling out their white hoods. Well, good, he's gone. I'm like, whoa, I'm not cool with this shit. Don't do that. It's not that literal, but oh my gosh.
No, it is at my work. It is at mine though.
It might be at your work.
It literally is at mine.
You've told me stories.
You can see people gauge who's in the room before they say something, and every time I watch them, thinking, "Oh god damn it."
Yeah, but look,
what are you about to say?
I feel like Lowry is a real character, and that's what I love about him. I love that he's a 3-dimensional character. Like, I understand that character. I know where he's coming from, even if I disagree with him. And he's not a mustache-twirling villain. And so far. I say so far because this show has a habit of bringing stuff up, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be cool later. And then it was just surface level. Turns out, no, there was nothing to that. So, but so far, and I did like that Jefferson was like, you know what? No, he should be the principal. Even though he didn't want to, even though he was about to get his job back. But Lowry spoke to him in a way that he said, you know what? You're right. I'm not going to be here for those kids. Because not that Lowry knows, but yeah, I'm Black Lightning. I'm not going to be here.
I've got other stuff to do. Yeah.
I've got other stuff to do. And I'm interested to see where they go with Lowry. If they go anywhere else with Lowry, high level, I can appreciate, Jennifer thinking he's a racist because he took down Khalil's stuff. I don't think that was the case. I think he's trying to run a strict school, and I think that's like what he thinks is right for the school. But I'm interested. I hope they don't turn him into just like a mustache twirling Ku Klux Klan member or something.
Yeah. I don't think that's what's coming.
Yeah.
But it was such a small part of the overall storyline that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only cared to some extent.
And that is a part of the problem with this season, but I guess we'll get to that in a little bit. I always liked Gamby.
Yeah.
But I, wasn't crazy about his Gamby dies storyline, his fake death
No, that was so stupid. That was so stupid. Like, he's such a great character, and you build him up as someone who always has a plan, and then it was like a waste of I don't know, what do you say, about 40 minutes of screen time? 40 minutes of screen time?
One of the I don't know, this is one of the scenes that gave me the most joy and the most cringe, I'll say, is when they go back and after his van is flipped and the whole thing, and you see how he got out of that van, and like there's like a little hole that opens up, and you just see like him just like jumping out of the hole as it flips. It just looked so dumb. And it just, I don't know. It was so silly. And
the crazy
brought
part,
me,
it didn't even look that dumb. I just still thought, why as an audience member were you trying to convince me the entire episode that guy was
Gambi
dead?
was dead. Yeah, there's no way
that
Gambi was dead.
like, you were deeply underestimating me as an audience member. I knew damn well you weren't going to kill that guy, and that guy was better than the death you tried to give him.
You know what it
What are we
reminded
doing?
me?
Like, it was just a waste.
It reminded me of old movie serials, and that's why it brought me a ton of joy for this. It
should remind you of, like, Batman. Is he going to make it through this death trap? That's what it should have reminded you of.
That's what it reminded me of, like old Batman movie serials, like where you see like Batman and Robin are in the plane, and it's like dun 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 dun, dun. And then like the plane explodes, and then it's like, come back next week for the next exciting episode, and then you come back next week. And like right before the plane explodes, you see like Batman and Robin jump out of the plane.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, you didn't show me that shit before. That's
That was literally not in that cut.
it's a total lie.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I felt about it. And the whole time, of course, we know that Gambi's not dead. I do really like that actor.
I do.
I did
Same
not
time-
appreciate that actor in Mortal Kombat Annihilation when he stood in for Christopher Lambert as Raiden. I was like, I want Highlander back.
Not the same. Yeah, I wanted Highlander back. All right, same problem though. When Jennifer's running away for a few episodes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was such a that was another. We wasted some time here, man.
I honestly feel, and I'll promise I'll get back to stuff I liked in a minute.
There was a lot to like. There really was.
There
We're gonna
was
get
a
there,
lot to
but
like.
Apparently, we're airing our grievances about stuff we didn't like right now. So,
Oh, I didn't mean to, but we just kind of got into
but
that
it's happening.
point. But
And honestly, for me, this is kind of the last big grievance. So,
really, okay. Well, for me, it feels like they had an idea for about a full season's worth of shows last year, and they didn't get a full season's worth. So season 2 is the second half of that, plus some filler. Like
maybe.
Gambi on the run, filler. Jennifer on the run with Khalil, which I totally understand. If you're caught up with someone like Tobias, you're going to be on the run. I could have used about an episode and a half less of it,
You are going to be on the run.
or not seen it at all.
I mean, you're going to be on the run, but that same episode could have ended 3 episodes earlier with meeting with Jefferson and realizing you need to go to the police, and that ultimately getting you killed.
Mm-hmm.
And then that having a payoff with, everyone, actually. Like, that paid off huge. Like, Khalil in this season paid off huge.
He paid off huge.
But there were at least 4 episodes where I thought we could have condensed this. This
Absolutely.
didn't have to be that long.
And I'll tell you this, that Sanjay plot, what the hell was that?
The who?
Remember the Sanjay? There was like, I can't remember the other, there was like 2 groups, one black, one white, in South Freeland.
Oh, fuck. That thing made, yeah. Oh, God.
And yeah. All of them were like, Looker was in charge of the white people, and she had like the stuff in her veins.
Yeah, I know.
Like
that
Yeah.
literally is just, it like a mini series. Like,
I had nothing for that
nothing.
story. Like that felt like such a weird departure. And look, I understand Freeland is like supposed to be in Georgia, and I know that there are definitely places like that, like South Freeland in Georgia and Alabama,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
and Mississippi,
Yeah.
and Florida
I've
for that
driven
matter.
places in Alabama, like myself. I've driven to places in Alabama where I did not feel comfortable.
Absolutely. But holy hell, did this feel like a weird departure. This felt like Virgil Tibbs and Chief Gillespie just might pop up at any moment. Like, it got a little too in the heat of the night for this show. And don't get it twisted, I love In the Heat of the Night. That's my shit. That's my jam. Like, I am beside myself that they don't have all of In the Heat of the Night, including the television movies, on DVD or streaming somewhere.
Ready to
Like,
go.
I have searched for it. Like, I want to see Bubba looking around underneath that car and pull out
Like,
that
you have
piece
a
of
Google
flesh.
alert
Right.
for Heat of the Night and Netflix in case that shit goes down.
Absolutely. I want to see Bubba pull that flesh up out of that tire and go, I don't know about you, Chief, but to me this looks like a piece of head. I want to see all that shit. I love that show. Um,
No, it
it just didn't feel
And-
right for this show. It felt like a strange departure in the middle of what was a pretty decent season. Like, we didn't like the first episode because it was weird and overacting and preachy, but they got better, and then they did this Sanjay shit.
the Sanjay shit was kind of weird, man. It really was. Like it got to the point where like statistically, just that. What is it, like 2.5 million views an episode right now?
I
on
haven't
Black
kept
Lightning?
up. I haven't kept up because if Legends of Tomorrow has taught us anything, they can have like 3
can
people
have-
watching and they'll still renew it.
And it'll be great. I think it's around 2.5. I could be wrong, but what I am confident about is no one's on the other side of these issues, and that doesn't mean they don't need to be represented at all. Like they should be, but it didn't contribute at all to the rest of the story, as far as I can tell. And I say that, like you said before, a couple white dudes. If there's something I missed, please tell me.
Yeah,
I'm
if
willing
there
to
was-
learn. I just didn't see
Right.
anything that I thought contributed to the rest of to even the rest of the season, not much
And if-
less the rest of the series. It
and
just
if it
seemed like
just-
a weird sidebar,
It did.
and I
Now, they might have been setting up something, but even if they were, if this had been an episode of like season 1 or 2 Fringe, like good Fringe back in the day, it would have been one episode. That's it. It would have been
back
one
when
episode
Friends
that's setting
was
up
like
something else.
borderline Twilight Zone. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It
Yeah.
was just a weird sidebar for a few episodes where we were dealing with something that was kind of like it was a straw man argument to me. Mm-hmm. And I will preface this again. Please tell me if you think I sound ignorant right now. I would be happy to learn from that.
Yeah.
Happy
let us
to.
know.
But it didn't take with me. And yeah, it was kind of boring to watch. It was like a few episodes where you thought, when are we getting out of this? And like the characters didn't develop at all.
Yeah, it was just weird
It
for
was
me.
a lull.
It was weird. All right, so back to stuff that we liked though.
They're actually
Tobias
stuff we
Whale.
liked. I promise.
Holy shit, Tobias Whale. I love that actor. I love the character. He is disgusting and terrible.
He's everything a villain should be.
He's a 3-dimensional character, but he's also a mustache twirler, and somehow that works so well. Like every time he's talking to the painting of his sister, I am just overjoyed.
Oh yeah, that's solid. It's also how much he enjoys being as kind of evil as he is.
But you
Like
know, he's
ripping
got
the spine out of a motherfucker.
Oh, that was didn't
That
I tell
was
you
brutal.
Didn't I tell you I always have your back? Ooh.
Yeah, like that's the kind of thing that only someone so evil that they're enjoying themselves could possibly say.
But it's also hard, like it's heartbreaking in a way, the way he acts, because he has so much hatred for his own kind. He hates black people. Like almost everything he says is racist against black people. And I guess that's like, I take it as because of the way he grew up and his own dad, like he kind of like takes all of the negative stereotypes and puts it on everyone. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah, in my mind,
he's the
he's
exact
just,
opposite of his dad.
He's the kind of guy, in my mind. Again,
Let us know.
Happy to hear about any feedback, but in my mind, it's he's the kind of guy that he kind of hates every version of certain people for certain reasons.
Yeah.
It's not
But
going to be like he's got nuanced feelings about this group or that group.
Oh, I think he does, but he he pretty much like says like the worst shit you could say on network TV, like about everybody.
Yeah.
Like, well, what was that line? He said something about like, I can't remember the line. He said something, the only thing worse than a black woman is a white woman who won't shut up or something like that. It was like, geez, dude, you're such a piece of shit.
I think it was the other way around.
Was it?
I think
he's
so.
just such an awful person. But instead they managed to like, I feel bad for enjoying his character.
I can't remember.
You know what I mean? Like,
No, it does. Here's the thing: it does. Whatever stereotypes he's playing on and bringing up or down in the consciousness, the fact that he's doing it, the fact that he's making these stereotypes and playing on them, and still clearly being the villain. That's there. Like, there's no point where he says something and you think, well, he's got a point. Every time he says something, you think, what an asshole.
Absolutely. And, it's like...
I think that's important to the character.
If, like, I will give all of these shows, any show, a lot of shit for certain things. But, that's one of the things that this show does really well is I could be grinding my teeth watching this thing, just displeased with the show. And then at the end of the show go, that made me feel, damn it. That was pretty good. Like,
it can hit you. It really can hit you out of nowhere.
I feel weird. I feel bad about myself for enjoying Tobias so much, but he's just such a piece of shit.
He is a compelling villain. That's on the showrunners and the characters and the writers for making that come to life. He's good. Like, it was, how satisfying was it to see him in the last episode actually, like, confined to fucking Nowheresville?
Not. It was not.
No.
It happened too quickly. Too suddenly.
I thought it was perfect.
All right.
He's not gone.
I mean, he's not gone, no.
He's too compelling. And,
he is.
Like, that last fight, they do, like, lightning is so powerful that, like, Black Lightning had to show up and kind of fight that fight for her so she didn't do it and become a murderer, So
yeah,
the fact that there's that out there and he's finally down for the count for a moment, that's not the last time we'll see him. But what I do love is that it gave him the potential of, like, they described how far in the hole and they've lost the key and they've lost they killed the guy whoever made the key in the first place. Kind of thing. And it's not the last time we'll see him. Like, whatever happens, he'll come back more powerful than before. I was pretty happy about all that. And fucking Markovia.
Like I said in the Young Justice review, I am not a big fan of Markovia. I don't know what to feel about this. Like, I don't like Dr. Jace here. She's kind of a mustache twirler for me. I haven't really seen a lot of depth to her.
Like, when she told him, I'm smarter than you, I kind of liked her for a second.
I can see that.
Like, and it justifies her living a few more minutes by literally saying, look, your survival instinct is fantastic, but if I was doing blah, 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 blah. Like, I get that. And then bringing in whatever his name is that can transport and apparently kills everyone in sight. Oh, yeah, that was a solid, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a solid, let's see what happens next season.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. It has been renewed. I don't know. I've just kind of been meh about all the kids with powers that Lynn and Jace have been working on. I'm kind of meh about Markovia. Why does the war have to come to Freeland? Like, we've established that there are other metas and stuff. Like, meta trafficking has happened. Okay, there are other places too, not just Freeland.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see what's happening.
Odell literally says they see this as like a hotbed.
Yeah.
They're going to want to attack this place.
Which, great actor, by the way. That dude has been solid throughout the season. He's a weird dude. Like, Bill Duke, that dude just has a presence. And holy shit. Like, sometimes it's like he's so, like, subdued, but he's so creepy, too. Like, yeah.
Oh, the stuff he says to Lynn in this last episode?
Uh-huh.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. Lynn is a character that I'm still struggling to like.
They still can't find... I don't know.
Like, sometimes she's badass, like when she's got her shotgun. But, then, like, why would she, like, the character definitely suffers from, like, stupid decisions. Like, suddenly she'll just be the stupidest person on the show. Where she's like, oh, I completely trust you, Dr. Jace. You're not a crazy psycho bitch at all. Let me just implement this formula, and half the kids died. And instead of going, I was tricked.
I was deceived.
She just runs around frantically going, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's that? And, oh, my Lord. Why did you guys not have better things for her to do here?
Yeah.
Like, how about she's not in the room and Dr. Jace just does it on her own and we just leave Lynn out of it? But you know what? I'm happy because they keep mentioning her last name now, which means nothing other than the fact that her brother is a Green Lantern. It's just that every time Agent Odell says, Dr. Stewart, I'm like,
I get it. And I hope they don't do it because they've got to find a way to make that character play better.
mm-hmm.
I think we said this in our season 1 review. I really do. Her agency has never been like well-founded or completely represented. It's been weird.
She's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, and honestly, it just feels like a lot of the time they don't know what to do with her, so they just make her mad at something.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, she's always kind of just upset about whatever. Like, insert a thing. Well, it's like every episode, like, well, we need something for Lynn to be mad about.
Well, it's
all right, yeah,
and
I got it. She's mad about the thing she wasn't mad about last episode. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the best it's ever worked was when she was mad about Wendy. And yeah, it's a legitimate cause. It works with the theme of the rest of the like what the show's doing. That was solid, but they didn't even let that completely hang around and sit for a while. Like with Lynn, man, it feels like they're just reaching sometimes.
It does. Loved seeing Robert Townsend, ye old Meteor Man. It was fun to see him whenever he showed up. Like, oh, good. They're, paying respects to freaking Meteor Man. That's awesome.
Or read that off of VHS box.
And I like seeing Erica Alexander come in as Perenna. I have liked her since Living Single back in the day. And of course, you look back, she was great on the Cosby Show for what little she was there. But I, growing up, I watched Living Single way too often. Like,
I was all over Living Color.
Oh, I was all over. I watched In Living Color. I watched Living Single. Like everything on Fox, I watched. I watched Married with Children.
That's fair.
I watched freaking Martin. Oh my gosh, I want to at Walmart now. They got all those sets of Martin on DVD. I've been tempted every time I go in.
I'm not sure. Now that you're saying it, I've watched a lot of Fox.
Oh yeah, like for whatever reason in Montgomery, we got WCOV, which was our Fox affiliate, and our ABC affiliate didn't really come in too well, and neither did our CBS affiliate for a while. So
right.
Pretty much NBC and Fox, those were my jam.
Also, now that you're saying affiliate, I'm super glad that is not a thing anymore.
I mean, it's still a thing, but it's not an important thing anymore.
No, it's going away.
Yeah. All right, so I like Erica Alexander, and by the way, lady doesn't age really. She just doesn't. She still looks like Maxine.
Yeah.
I was sad, and I guess that was part of like Gamby having to disappear for a minute, is that he needed to get what he needed from Miss Fowdy. I was actually sad to see Miss Fowdy go.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I was sad to see Cyanide go. Like, it was ridiculous, but like that that whole sequence where they're fighting and they've got oh my gosh, they're in the ridiculous 70s jumpsuits and taking off their heels and shit and fighting each other.
Yeah.
That was that was some shit I grew up watching on Saturday mornings with my dad, they would run it on the Fox affiliate. They'd run Pam Grier movies like Foxy Brown, Coffee.
Oh yeah.
And, I love that shit, man.
There was some legacy there for sure.
I could have used a little more of that.
I liked where it landed. I mean, I get it, but I liked where it landed.
That's one of the things that that's one of the real big red flags that I've always really enjoyed about Quentin Tarantino, is he has an appreciation for that kind of movie. You know what I mean?
That kind of shoe fetish.
Shoe fetish. No, just sort of the 70s disco blaxploitation type of films.
Oh yeah.
I mean, clearly, you look at Jackie Brown. He had Pam Grier all up in that shit.
Oh yeah.
He's just the music, the style. I love that. I wish he did more of that and less of whatever the hell he does now. I love that they finally got around to Bill Henderson knowing. I love that he was pissed at Jefferson. I feel a little silly for him though, because he should have known that shit a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
But whatever. Whatever, guys. I get it. Superhero show. That's a trope of the genre, I guess.
Right. You gotta have someone you reveal it to that you've been working with the whole time and all that.
Mm-hmm. While I'm still not a big fan of Anissa, I don't care for the actress. I do. She never plays as real to me somehow. She always plays like she's reading. I do love China Anne McClain as Jennifer. Yeah. I think she's great. And as far as Anissa is concerned, I do actually enjoy that she has a couple of different alternate personalities. I like that she goes around as what was she calling herself? Blackbird? Yeah. Is that it? Where she's like running around like stealing money and stuff for the church. And while I mentioned the church, I do wish they would have like followed. Because last season, Jefferson went out of his way to imply that the preacher was a bit of a philanderer, that he was like, a little under the table on some of his dealings. And they haven't really played that up. They've kind of played him as like an actual holy man this season. So,
I mean, he was...
I don't know. I'd like to see more of that.
Assassinated, almost. So you can play the other side of that. As
twice almost assassinated now.
Yeah. The preacher that keeps a 9mm in his pulpit, but
yeah.
He gets a redemption arc, sure.
Mm-hmm. So I thought everything about Khalil's death was heartbreaking and really well done.
Yeah.
I loved the bit where they're about to go to prom inside of his head, and then he just disappears because he dies. That tore me up.
Right.
They did a really good job with that. Anissa's Grace chase was boring. Like, I had no interest in it. Like, I was just like, yeah, I get it. Great. There's something wrong with Grace. Grace is doing a thing. I just didn't care. The whole time they were together, and she keeps like taking her pills and the weird stuff on her neck, and then she disappears, and oh gosh. Okay. I just don't care.
Yep.
I was good with Grace going away for good. I was good with them being together. Whatever. Just do something else. Now, when we're like, I feel like this finale though, this finale really had the same issue as the previous finale in a lot of ways. To me, I felt like it was rushed. Like, a few things went too quickly. I thought, like I said before, them gathering enough evidence to take down Tobias was a little much. Like, it didn't, and because we never saw a body, it didn't feel like his little right-hand man was actually dead. You know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, he just bought a car. And then you see his hand outside of the car, and he stops at a stoplight, and he blows up. And you're like, oh, yeah, well, he's not dead. And then the next episode, they're like, oh, yeah, it's confirmed. He's dead. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but on the cop side, you could be like, we couldn't prove it, but we're moving forward with this information.
Mm-hmm. I kind of,
like, that can work.
It can work. I just felt like the whole, like, gathering enough evidence and then actually, like, Henderson actually going in and them actually, like, it's just, it all ran together for me. The last, like, last couple episodes, just like, what is even happening anymore? Like, he's got new people from the tubes, and they're from the 70s, and that was disappointing because I wanted to see more of their fish out of water story. I wanted to see less Sanjay and more of these guys going like, holy shit, what's the internet?
That's fair.
Instead of them just being like, well, we're from the 70s,
like
now we're
storyline for that.
Yeah.
I gotta give it this, like, Fire Guy running around saying, well, really not saying, just laughing and blowing up things. Mm-hmm. That made as much sense as any other reaction you might have.
I guess. Which I guess, it makes sense that Tobias wouldn't be like, no, he wouldn't be like, oh, get your bearings, take a look around, check out this iPad. He would just be like, nope, you're going to do what the hell I'm doing.
That shit up.
You're going to do what I say, or you're going to die. Yeah. That's Tobias's way. That makes sense, I guess. It was just, anytime I get like
set everything on fire.
Anytime I get a story where someone's like cryogenically unfrozen after 30 or 40 years, I kind of want to see the reaction to the modern world. I can't help it. It's in my blood.
Honestly, I think you saw that in like 5 seconds when like before Tobias said, let me educate you.
Oh, yeah, that's a point. That's a good point. All right, so you and I disagree about how much we liked Tobias getting thrown into his quote unquote prison. Which, by the way, I oh my gosh, like I did really enjoy when he's like, I want my lawyer or whatever, and the guy's just like, yeah, you don't get it.
You don't understand where you are. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I will say this: when they like pan in on those test tube people, more test tube people, and that last one is Khalil.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, why? You had such a strong emotional end to that character. Why would you ruin it?
Yep.
That is shitting in my soup. Why would you even do that?
I understand. I think they want like get more mileage out of the resurrection thing they've been doing.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy seeing Lala again.
Yeah, Lala came back in a way that was really compelling. Him and I don't know who played the resurrection guy, but shit,
Yeah, he was creepy.
he did
a really good job.
as balls. Great job. And
Yeah.
Lala talking to him and all the talk about like redemption if you do this and that. That was all of that. All of that was fantastic. Like I'm really rooting for Lala now.
Yeah, dude, that entire episode where he had Jefferson in the classroom with a gun to him.
That was good. That was fucking
fantastic.
good.
That was so
God,
good.
That was good television. Even when he gets shot and kind of trying to hide how he can. Oh, it's good.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I love that I love that Lala keeps getting resurrected and he just keeps coming back.
Oh,
And getting
what is
killed
it?
again.
Like Cutter throws a bunch of shit at him. He's like, that's not gonna throw up an eye answer or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Give me more of that.
Yeah.
I'm digging that.
And
Also,
Cutter's been a fun
the
addition.
actor himself, fantastic.
Oh yeah, the actor's fantastic.
And God, my favorite moment of Lala of all is when when he turns the computer around and shows him like his high school graduation shot,
Mm-hmm.
and it Lala just breaks down a little bit. That
Yep.
may be my favorite moment of Lala ever.
When he shows him the guy he killed,
Oh fuck, Earl.
Yeah.
Sorry, Earl.
Mm.
Anyway, they're doing good things with him right now. I hope that stays. I really do. There's a lot to play with there.
I was sad when that was actually really sad when that guy went away just because he was so much fun to watch. But I guess we never did get that resurrection story or get why people were being resurrected last year. So
Yeah.
I guess we got to wrap that up, huh?
No, with like season 1 with Lady Eve and everything, it was just it was in the wind.
All right. So you got anything else?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think I do either. There are big
There's
swaths of this.
a lot of fun to be had with this series.
A lot of fun, and then a lot of what the hell. I feel like
Yeah, a lot of potential. What the hell? A lot of potential. Hell yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
If we spoke out of turn or whatever, let us know. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't really know. I don't know how to talk about the show without mentioning all the shit they bring up. So
Yeah. No, I get it. If we spoke out of turn, just educate us.
Yep.
I am willing to learn.
Yeah. I'm willing to get more woke,
Right?
as they say.
Oh yeah.
I can't say that without thinking about Captain Holt on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They're like, "Sir, did you mean woke?" I did, but it was grammatically incoherent.
God, it's so good. So good.
I can't remember what he said. Something like, it's like, get awoken or awakened or something like that. And they're like, "You mean get woke?" Yes, I did mean that. I love that man.
So good.
I love Andre Brower.
Yeah. We have more time with him. Yay.
We do. I don't have grandfathers left. Can he be my grandfather?
In your own place. Yes. Yes, you can.
Like, I've actually been tempted to go back and watch, oh God, what was it? Homicide, Life on the Streets and all that, just because he was in it for so long. Like, I've gone back and looked at clips of that. The show is awful. It's like real bad 90s stuff, but he's fantastic. Like, he's a young man. He's like in his 20s, but he is just like chewing the scenery. He's fantastic.
Nice.
Anyway, Didn't mean for this to become the Andre Brower show.
Nice.
Anyway, we're DC on Screen. Thank you for listening. And remember, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/DC on Screen, if you haven't gotten enough of us just rattling incoherently. And because you will get extra content. I promise you that. You'll get extra content. Guys.
Plenty more.
And $5 a month gets you that extra content. And we're going to come back some point at a different time, probably next week, with more news and stuff. And as the weeks go by, there will be season finales, and apparently there's going to be a Krypton at some point, and stuff will just keep coming. So
I still have not announced the Krypton thing.
I thought they said summer.
Yeah, that's not. No date.
Summertime.
Yeah. But finales, we got you there.
Yep. All right. Well, until next time, keep some DC on your screen. I'm gonna go listen to Will Smith now for some reason.
Bye.
I had to sing Summertime.
Bye.
Our opening narration was from Dan Jurgens' The History of the DC Universe, Part 3 of 10, as featured in DC 52, Week 4. It was performed by me, David C. Robertson. Intro music by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Future Elevators, could be found on Spotify or future-elevators.com. Our introduction was performed by Effie Oppelders of the fantastic podcast Stealing the Remote, which lives on SoundCloud. It can also be found on iTunes and Stitcher. We are proudly in partnership with TV Time, TV show calendar and social media site that lets you keep track of what you're watching, what your friends are watching, and where you all left off. DC on Screen is a maladjusted production. Visit maladjusted.tv for more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, an improvised web series, vlogs, parodies, and more.